Okay, can everybody hear me okay out there in Zoom land? I am Cindy Toll, and I would like to welcome everybody to the South Dakota Local Foods Conference second night. I'd also like to take a few minutes to thank our sponsors. Um, we have a long list, but so bear with me. We have NRCS in South Dakota. They sponsored our keynote speaker last evening, so thank you so much. We have the South Dakota Specialty Producers Association, of which I'm a board member, Dakota Rural Action, South Dakota State University, the Extension Division is graciously providing all our technical support for this conference, and thank you so much. Great Plains Tribal Chairman's Health Board, USDA Rural Development, Monument Health, Audubon Dakota through their Audubon Conservation Ranching Program. Evergreen Ranching and Livestock is donating a meat bundle for the raffle, so stay tuned tomorrow for the raffle. Sturgis Meats is donating Sturgis Jerky, which is a gold item, and again, that's going to be raffled off tomorrow. And we have Bell Valley Ancient Grains is also donating some of their ancient grains tomorrow's raffle. We have Thunder Valley, Glory Gardens, South Dakota Health Coalition, and South Dakota Department of Ag. So I want to again, thanks for everybody for the sponsorships. And I especially want to thank Kathleen Rikus, who is our South Dakota Specialty Producers intern, her Vista intern this year, for doing such a wonderful job organizing the conference, and also all the members of the planning committee to make the South Dakota Local Foods Conference possible. So without further ado, I want to introduce our keynote speaker this evening, Charlotte Smith. Charlotte came to me through I was at a conference a few years ago, and I heard Charlotte speak, and it was very inspirational. And I was right at the peak of developing my grass-fed, grass-finished business. And her words at that talk that she gave in that hour-long talk just inspired me tremendously, and it really leaped my business, leaps and bounds from what it was, a couple of years ago to what it is today. And I thank Charlotte very much for that. And so I'm an avid follower of all of her podcasts. You guys, you can check Charlotte out on all of her podcasts, which are available wherever you can get your favorite podcast. I use Spotify, but I like, in fact, just coming down from the packing plant tonight, I listened to Charlotte's latest podcast, which comes out on Fridays. And she's also very inspirational in mindset coaching. A lot of us get overwhelmed in day-to-day tasks and just all the stuff we have to do. And she really has a very practical approach to walk you through how to overcome some of the overwhelm. And so the mindset part of her approach is really fascinating. So I won't take up any more time, and I'm going to turn it over to you, Charlotte, and thank you so much for joining us.
Of course. You can hear me okay? All right, great. Thank you. I really appreciate you all having me. And one of the wonderful benefits, the make lemonade out of lemons with COVID, is I've been able to speak with a lot more conferences that have gone virtual. So I'm making the most of it. And I just am so happy to be here. Let me share my screen here. All right. Just get my screen organized. Whoops, sorry. Okay. So Cindy, thank you for that wonderful introduction. I really appreciate the words you say. I just love being able to connect with people and know that the things I teach are helping you build a profitable farm, which so many people think is not possible for farmers, but it is when you learn how to do it. And hopefully I'll have some guidance for you today. So I'm here in St. Paul, Oregon, and it's still light out. We're 2 hours earlier than you. So I want to just share a little bit about me. I was born and raised on my family farm, which is just up the road here from where I am now. And it was a commodity farm, my dad's commodity farm. And we worked really hard, like everybody, all the kids. I think I started driving tractor when I was about 8 years old for 8 hours a day. And it was just normal. It's what everyone did. But what happened is when I was a freshman in high school in 1980, my dad's farm went bankrupt, like a lot of farms did at that time. And we lost everything. I mean, we had a barnyard sale, and every last tractor and shovel and hoe was sold out from under us. And even we lost our house. And for about 4 years, we didn't have a lot of food. We had to eat rice and beans, and we couldn't have friends over for dinner. And at that point, I thought farming was the the most ridiculous way to try to make money. So I was all through high school, my focus was to get out of there and go to college. And so I did. I left home and went to college, and I was going to have a big corporate career. But about the time my kids were in grade school, approaching middle school, I really wanted them to have the lifestyle that I had growing up, where we could step outside and jump on a horse and ride across the field. So we moved back out to the country about 17, 18 years ago. And we got a small piece of land, and I wanted to start my own farm, but I knew it was going to look very different than my dad's farm. I was going to sell direct to consumer. I was going to decide what I was going to charge. There was no, cannery wasn't going to tell me what they were going to pay me, depending on whether it was a good high production year or low production year. And so I started in, and I had also had a real estate career. Well, I'd been a real estate agent for about 8 years before that. So real estate is one of those things where everybody knows a realtor or two or three. And so you really only get someone to hire you to sell your house if you have a good connection with them. They're going to hire the person they feel closest to. So I brought that skill to my farm, where I thought, I'm just going to sell, all my friends are going to be my customers. And if I want a lot of customers, I got to make a lot of friends. So I just had this mindset that I was serving my community, and I was sharing with them and giving to them. And they were going to buy from me and support our farm. And so I came to farming with that mindset. And then what happened is other farmers in the area started to take notice and wonder, how was I able to charge a lot more than they could? And we were still selling out, and they couldn't sell half of what they produced. So I started having farmers over to our house, just like a couple at a time. And our kids would play in the next room while we sat at the kitchen table, and I taught them what I'm going to talk to you about here today. And pretty soon it was 50 farmers in our house. And then in 2014, I took all of my training online. So now I get to teach farmers all over the world, probably every state in the United States, but certainly many countries too. And what I want to share with you is the skills you need to learn to market your products, no matter what state you live in or what community or where you live in the world. It's all the same. It's building relationships with people. I don't teach anything gimmicky. There's nothing that you can do today to make a bunch of money tomorrow. There's no little sales gimmick. If you want a profitable business, you've got to learn how to do it organically and practically and authentically, which means you're not trying to trick someone into paying you a lot of money. I see a lot of people chasing down little things they can do on social media to try to make money. Those don't work long term. And what works is building relationships. So I have the Profitable Mindset podcast, like Cindy mentioned. I started that about a year ago. Go listen. Doesn't matter if you're a beginning farmer or you've been experienced for 20 or 40 years, you're going to learn a ton from it. So be sure to find that wherever you listen to podcasts, or it's on my website at 3Cow Marketing. So what I found when I started teaching marketing is farmers were coming to me and they would say, well, that's great. I learned all you had to teach me, but I still can't do it because I'm too overwhelmed, or I'm too busy, or I don't have enough time, or I'm too resentful for my in-laws who run the farm with me. I'm really angry and bitter and resentful, and it's just not working. And so as a certified mindset coach, I combine coaching and marketing in a way that nobody else is doing in our industry. And I can tell you it's going to change how you view your farm, your employees, your customers, your family, all your relationships. So I really encourage you to understand that building a profitable farm is not just about what are the tactics I need to know, what's the best feed to buy, what's the best breed of animal or line, seeds or whatever, and the marketing strategies. It's not about the strategies and tactics. It starts with how you're thinking about it. So if you're struggling because you're learning things but they still aren't working for you, let's get that cleaned up. Make sure you're doing the mindset work. I help people with that every single day. Okay, so what I want to share with you is that a profitable farm is not for the select few. And I say this because there's a lot of negativity out there. I've heard from people who say they're writing a book on how it's impossible to make money as a farmer. And I'm here to tell you that is a belief that you don't need to ascribe to. It's something that people say when they haven't learned how to build a profitable farm, so they don't think it can be done. It can totally be done when you learn and acquire the skills you need to do it. So I just want to open your mind up that it's possible to do it without complete overwhelm and without going broke. So hang in there and I'll help you on that. So I teach online modern marketing methods. And why do I teach this? Well, what I teach is marketing is serving. Marketing is not trying to convince people to buy your products or convincing people that your products are better or healthier than the grocery store. It's not about doing that. It's about serving people. And when you have the mindset that my products I raise are helping people and I'm serving people and I'm here to serve people, what happens is then when you have to send your marketing newsletter or email or do a social media post, it feels very natural. Instead of what a lot of people will come to me and say is, oh, I hate telling people to buy our stuff. I go on social media and I put a post up there to come buy something, and then I run away and hide because I hate that icky feeling. But when you come to marketing with a mindset of, I'm here to help people, I have a product that's going to change their life in whatever way you determine it's changing their life, it feels so good. It then becomes a no-brainer that, of course, I've got to make sure people know I have this product for sale because I'm changing lives with my product. So when you come from this place, what happens is people are attracted to what you write and they flock to you. And I get emails every single day and Facebook posts in my groups every single day about people saying, I finally experienced that when someone drives up and jumps out of their car and gives me a big virtual hug and says, I love getting your emails and I can't wait to buy from you, because they've been serving them, not even met them, but they've been serving them through their marketing that I'm about to teach you, because they have this mindset that they are helping people and they feel an obligation to let people know they have something that can help them, instead of feeling icky and spammy and salesy and worrying that you're going to upset people or worrying they're going to unsubscribe. Okay, so why will people buy a commodity from us? Here's what I want to say. In the we've been eating farm fresh food for about 15 years. Before that, I was surrounded by commodity farms. So I went to the grocery store like all the farmers around me do. And about 15 years ago, we discovered that you could buy direct from a farmer. That's when we started doing it. Today, however, farm fresh food has actually become a commodity. A commodity is a race to the bottom. The cheaper, the better. I can go to any store around me and there's going to be eggs with a label with chickens out on grass pasture that says farm fresh eggs. And you and I may know that they didn't come from chickens out on pasture, but our customers and our potential customers don't know that. So they wonder, why in the world should I drive out to this farm or drive to a farmer's market on a Saturday when I can get this same product at the grocery store? That's what they think, because they haven't learned that there's a big difference. So our products are now commodity. I go to in the meat counter at our local grocery store. I check in there regularly. They always have some grass-fed beef. Well, it's not at all the same as to what you and I sell, but our customers don't know that. But so since we all have these commodities, we can't sell like you would a commodity. We can't sell based on, hey, buy 4, get 1 free, or buy this much and save 20%. That is commoditizing your product. Instead, stop talking about money, and you've got to learn to build relationships with people through your marketing. When you do that, then money is no object. When you have a close relationship with people, they will buy your products and they don't even look at the price. When my marketing students learn to market the way I teach and they stop talking about price and they start building relationships, they're shocked at how people come in and buy and place orders on the internet and no one ever even comments on the price, because you've built a relationship with them. So you've got to let go of marketing your products like they're a commodity in the grocery store and market based on the relationship you're building with people. The other thing that happens is not only is price no object, but the inconvenience of buying off of a farm is not a problem. People are willing. So I could go on Amazon and click on Whole Foods and place my order and not hardly even leave my house except to go pick it up. It would be delivered if I live closer to town, but I could still go pick it up. Super convenient. However, our customers have to drive 45 minutes out of town, or they have to, maybe if you sell at a farmer's market, they have to find parking and then go out in the weather and go to the farmer's market, or they have to inconveniently pick it up at a drop site. That if you're a commodity, they aren't willing to do that. But if you are marketing based on relationship, they will go through crazy inconvenience to find you and buy your product. So money is no object when you have a relationship with people. And when you have a relationship with them, inconvenience is not an issue either. So then the first objection people say is, but I don't have time to build relationships. People just need to buy my stuff. Or people don't see the value in our products. They don't respect what we do. So there's a lot of objections when people first start hearing that, hey, maybe if you built relationships, you would be able to sell more products. They think, I don't have time for that. But here's what I want to share with you. The number one reason farmers do have success with what I teach is that they learn to have that profitable mindset. Instead of thinking, I don't have time to build relationships, they believe they can do it. They believe it'll work. And I'm going to teach you how to do relationships online because, especially with COVID, we just can't meet enough people in person anymore to do that. Makes it really efficient to go online. But I just want you to open up your mindset that, of course, you have time to build relationships, especially if this means you're going to end up with a profitable farm. I work with a lot of my coaching clients that are trying to figure out the succession of their farm, how to do that. Well, you want to have a profitable farm to pass on. Otherwise, you really burden the people who might be your successors. So you got to believe you can do this. You got to believe it will work. The farmers who have success with what I teach them are the ones who decide to believe it's going to work. So then, because you can't meet enough people, even pre-COVID, you couldn't build enough deep enough relationship with enough people to build your profitable farm. So how do we move that relationship building online for efficiency? Well, here's what most people think. They think, okay, I've got to start a Facebook page. I got to go on Instagram or post on Craigslist, or Eat Wild is a platform for farm fresh products near around us. I'm not sure if it's where you are, but there's all kinds of online platforms now where you can go post your products too. Sometimes they get a cut, sometimes they don't. So this is what most people do. They go online and they just start broadcasting from one of these channels. What I want to share with you, though, is those are just marketing channels. They are not a marketing foundation. I'm going to teach you how to build a marketing foundation. Those channels are valuable, like Instagram and Facebook. I love Instagram and Facebook. They're valuable, but they will not build your business. They won't build a profitable farm unless you have your foundation in place. And here's the other thing. A lot of people think, well, I spent an hour on Facebook and Instagram today. I put some posts up. I, liked some things. I answered some questions. So I did my marketing. So those channels can be very distracting because you think you did your marketing for the day and you haven't done that. So they're deceiving. Those, especially social media, is really deceiving. You think you're doing a great job marketing, but you can't figure out why people aren't buying. It's because you don't have your foundation in place. Those are marketing channels, but they don't work without a foundation. So your home base, your foundation, is your website combined with your email marketing platform. Any email marketing software will work. Start with MailChimp. Doesn't matter. If you already have another one, stick with your other one. If you don't, start with MailChimp. But you got to have a website or at least a one-page landing page that MailChimp will give you set up and in place for those other channels to work. That is your foundation. So your email, this computer in the center here, that represents your marketing foundation, your website, your email marketing platform. Then you can see all the other channels will funnel into that foundation. So this is the only way those other channels will work. Remember, this is just the channels scattered all over the place. This is how most people's marketing plan looks like today. They spend a little time over here, a little time over there. This is how you want it to look. You want to have your email marketing and your website as your foundation so that the other channels will work. They won't work to build a profitable farm without that foundation. So let's talk a bit about email marketing. Again, those objections come up in your brain. Probably some of you have already thought these just as I've been talking, like none of my customers check email anymore. Or all of my customers are just on social media all day. Or they think, well, social media is free. So why would I focus on, spending a lot of hours building a website that I have to pay for each month? It looks like a lot of those influencers are making millions of dollars on Instagram. So I'm just going to go on Instagram. Email's so boring. Don't get caught up in these very limiting beliefs. So I love social media too. But the fact is, the followers on social media, you don't own them. You don't have a way to reach them all in one batch like you do when you can send an email from your email marketing software. So there's algorithms in place on social media that limits your reach depending on what you write about in your posts and depending on how often you post and what you're doing and what you're linking up. Sometimes only 3% of your followers might see your post. and then someone will follow you. They will see your post for a couple weeks or a month, and then you just disappear out of their feed. You never see them again. So you will never be able to reach enough people on social media to build a profitable business, and you will never be able to reach people consistently either. All right, so then let's dive into the 3 steps to a profitable farm. First of all, know who you're selling to. Then we're going to talk about growing your email list with engaged subscribers. Remember, followers mean nothing without your email list in place. And number 3, build trust. Okay, what is a dream customer? This is step 1. Know who you're selling to. A dream customer is that one person that you're going to focus your marketing material to. So if you're writing a Facebook or Instagram post or an email or a blog post, you want to write as if you're writing to one person. This is something that one good thing that came from corporate marketing world is that they do this. They have their target market. When you write your marketing as if you're writing to one person, people love the specificity and they're attracted to that, and you attract a lot more of a wide variety of people. What most people do is they try to reach everybody and they think, I don't want to offend anyone, so I'm going to write this very general marketing material, and nobody connects with it. So you just aren't reaching enough people. So I know that it's kind of contrary to what you might think. Like, why would I just write to one person? But this is what works. This is online, modern, relationship-based marketing. Is you want to start writing your posts and your emails and your blog posts, social media, as if you're writing to one very specific person. What happens is, and I call this person your dream customer. When you have marketing materials directed toward this one dream customer, people connect with those specific references, which means they feel like you're talking to them personally. So I will have people who get my emails whom I've never met, and they'll be on my email list for years, and they will email me and say, every time you send an email, I feel like you're a fly on my wall. You know exactly what's going on in our house. How in the world do you do that? By the way, I'm coming out and I want to order this and this and this and this. And they spend thousands of dollars. Because I did that, I focused on one dream customer and they connected with it. So the other thing I'm not telling you is I'm not telling you that you will limit the type of people who buy from you. So what ends up happening is when you get very specific and you're targeting your marketing at one person, then you end up with attracting customers from all walks of life, young, old, in between, men and women, single people, married people, people with tiny kids and babies, people whose kids are out of the house already, retirees, corporate. You attract everyone. So this is the psychology behind the marketing in this case. Is when you write to one person, you have broader appeal. So this is really important. This is one of those shifts that some of my marketing students, this is the only shift they will make in their marketing posts. And all of a sudden they'll be making a lot more sales, or even just sales at all off a post, because they start talking as if they're talking to one person. So here's what I do. I have a Google Doc, and you can do the same. Write down who is your dream customer. Write down some traits of her. I have hours of instruction that I give to my marketing students on how to do this and what kinds of questions you can ask her so that you can put her traits and her likes and her dislikes in this Google Doc, and her characteristics and how she spends her time. Then when it is time to write that marketing post or marketing email, you pull out this Google Doc and you read it, and you have all kinds of, literally dozens of ideas of what to write about that day. So you never are at a loss for what to write about in your content or make a video about, for instance, when you know exactly who your dream customer is. So here's just a very short example of mine. My dream customer, 35-year-old woman She has 3 kids. She's always rushing to get dinner on the table, but she feels guilty that it's often packaged or convenient food or not healthy. So now here's what I can pull out of this. She has 3 kids and she's rushing. So when I start mentioning the word rushing in my emails, my marketing material, like, hey, are you always rushing around, try to get dinner on the table? I can help. Are you feeling guilty because you're running through the drive-through in between kids' sports events? I can help. So when you become the solution to your dream customers' problems, then you are not a commodity at all. Price and inconvenience don't matter, because the thing she struggles with the most, feeling guilty and feeling rushed, you're going to help her with. So what she wants from you is that help. The problem is, what I see most farmers using as marketing content is their farming practices. So if I could probably Google 10 farmers' websites right now, and all of those websites will talk about how they raise their animals, how they raise their products, what products they're using to raise their product, what their feed is, what's their rotational grazing system, what are the pasture grasses their pastured chickens eat, on and on and on about farming practices. But what happens is that 35-year-old mother of 3 who's rushed and in a hurry and feeling guilty about feeding her kids not so healthy food, her eyes glaze over when your marketing content is all about your farming practices. She doesn't have time. She doesn't connect with it. She doesn't get it. She wants to trust you that you're taking care of the farming side of it, and she needs to know that you can help her stop feeling guilty, stop feeling rushed, if that's your ideal customer, depending on who it is you are marketing to. So just start making note. Are your social media posts, are your marketing emails about your farming practices, or are they all about your customer? Because if they're all about her, she's going to feel amazing, like you care about her, like she matters to you, and like you can help her, and then she can't wait to buy from you. So then you've nailed it. When you know who she is and you're talking about what she wants to hear about in your marketing posts, your sales will fly through the roof. Just like Cindy mentioned at the beginning, how her sales have turned around since she started implementing this. I hear this from my marketing students every single day. So just remember, if you write about your farming practices, if that's what you're writing about in your marketing material, whether it's GMO free or pastured, we're local, she can buy that anywhere and you're a commodity. Okay. Even though you and I know that the grocery store products are not the same quality, she thinks they are. You're a commodity when you're just talking about those things. Instead, you want to make sure that you communicate to her that you know what her challenges and struggles and goals are, and your product is there to help her have success. So just know, when you get that specific on who you sell to, your dream customer, then you will have far broader appeal. My dream customer is a woman, but I get men who shop in our farm store all the time who say, I love reading your marketing emails. So don't feel like you're going to turn off the people you're not writing to. They will connect with those specific references. And then I hear this all the time. As soon as people identify their dream customer and that's who they market to, their sales will be 5 or 10 times easily what they were the month before. Like when you implement this, it can have an amazing difference right away. Okay, so let's talk about growing your email list, because many of us start an email list, and remember, all our email lists start at 0. So you've probably all seen one of these on the internet, right? Anytime you land on some company's website, they want you to sign up for their newsletter. And I'm sure you get tons of newsletters in your email inbox. But here's what you got to know. Nobody wants another newsletter. Okay, we are getting hundreds of emails a week in our inboxes. Newsletters are not interesting. You don't want to be doing a newsletter. Instead, on your website, in order to capture emails, you want to give them something. You want to offer them something that they will gladly trade their email for. And this is how you can start building your email list online. At first, you're going to add your customers. You can get all your current customers to sign up. You can even ask them if you have permission to add them and do that. Your email list might be your mother and your sister at first, and that's okay. Everybody starts somewhere, but get one of these sign up forms up on your website. All right. We teach you exactly how to do that. If you're one of our marketing students, but you can figure it out. It's super easy. And start offering something that they are interested in. So some things you can give away for free. Instant pot meals. If your dream customer is a busy mom, teach her how to use her Instant Pot. Give her a recipe book. It's free for you to create it online. I use a software program called Canva, Canva.com. And I have a template on there for these free recipe books or checklists. And you can go on there and create your own recipe book. Recipes are not copyrighted. So you can just find recipes you really like and create a little recipe book so that people will gladly give you their email in exchange for that. Or maybe you have very health conscious customers and they would like to have a clean eating checklist. Or if you're a larger farm, you can have it be they give you their email and they get a coupon for free shipping. I don't recommend that to small farms because free shipping, whenever we offer discounts or coupons, then you attract a bunch of people signing up to your email list who only want to buy your product when it's discounted. So I do not recommend that you offer coupons, but if you have started shipping across the country or in your area, your neck of the woods, you can definitely do free shipping. The raw dairy cookbook, when people meet me and find out we have milk cows, the first thing they say is, "Oh, do you know how to make butter?" So on my sign up, the perfect freebie to give them for their email would be a quick video tutorial that I just create on my phone. They get it for free when they give me their email on how to make butter. Here's a great way to figure out what to give people for free. What are the top 3 questions that customers ask you before they buy? Write these questions down and you can create a freebie around that. People always ask me, how do you make butter and how do you make yogurt? Those are like the top, and how to make cheese. Do I know how to make cheese? It would be so easy for me to get all kinds of email subscribers if I just had a little raw dairy cookbook, how to make butter, cheese, and yogurt. So figure out what your customers want, create that. Your email marketing service makes it super easy to set up. They will have tech videos helping you set that up. The free video, the free PDF, whatever it is, recipe booklet will be delivered automatically once they sign up through your email marketing software. So you don't have to send them that. It's manually. It's all automatic. So then step 3 in building your profitable farm is you got to build relationship and trust. People will not buy from you if they don't trust you. And people will buy from you when they trust you. So they've got to trust you in order to buy. If you're a farmer, they trust the grocery store, even though that's probably the last place we should trust. Everybody trusts the grocery store. So that's why grocery stores, they don't need to have a personal relationship. They've already got the trust and the credibility. You need to build trust with people because we've got to have them be willing to go through the inconvenience and pay more for our products. That only comes from them when they trust you. Another way to build trust, consistent communication. It's key to building a relationship. And here's the thing, you can't get consistent communication on social media. The biggest problem of social media is I put my social media post, you probably notice the same thing. You will have the same few people liking it. Those are the only people being shown your post because they like it, they show them more posts. If someone doesn't scrolls by and doesn't click it, they won't be shown your post the next week and you fall off their feed. So the only way to reach people consistently is email marketing. You will never reach them consistently on social media. If you have 1,000 people that like your farm page, only 60 of them might be seeing your posts. You have 1,000 people on your email list, almost 1,000 of them will see your email, 40% of them will open it. That's 400 people will open it. About 10% will buy. These are the statistics my marketing students get. So you made 100 sales off of one email. You got maybe 60 people to see a social media post and 0 sales for the most of the time. So all the more reason. I'm not trying to convince you, but I'm sure you're getting convinced by now. This is from years of my study, education, and research, but also the experience of my marketing students. I've been teaching marketing since 2012. Consistent communication is everything. So then when you have this trust with people, they love your emails. So remember at the beginning of this presentation where I said, when I talk about marketing, people will say, oh, people don't read emails. They don't open them. They aren't even in their email inbox anymore. Here's what I find. When you learn how to market based on relationship, they love getting your emails. They look forward to them. They can't wait to get them. Then when it's time to sell out on something, like you've got your CSA, I see Heidi on here. I know she has a CSA. When it's time to have people re-up their CSA subscription, one email, you'll sell out. This is what our marketing students learn how to do. Thanksgiving turkeys. I see farmers before they work with me, they will start trying to sell their Thanksgiving turkeys in July, because it takes that long to get them sold, all the emails, convincing people to buy them. When you turn that around and you learn how to build relationship with people, you will sell out all your turkeys in one email. That means you can get back to relationship building versus telling people to buy. And again, you get back to the fun stuff that they love to get in your emails. And then when you have to sell something, boom, one email, you sell out. So then what do you email your list? If you're not selling all the time, if you learn how to sell out in one email, but you still have to keep in touch with them, I recommend every 2 weeks minimum year round. Yes, even if you're a seasonal farm. Well, then what do you email them in the off season? If you don't have vegetables to sell in the winter, you can still email them recipes. If I had a vegetable CSA and I'm not selling in the winter, perfect opportunity for their holiday side dishes. Still recipes, doesn't have to be anything about what you sell. Okay, you can send out your grandma's favorite pumpkin pie recipe for Thanksgiving to your email list, even though you don't sell pumpkins and you don't even have anything for sale now. That is you serving your email subscribers, your potential customers. You're serving them in the off season so that when it's time for them to come out and buy again, they remember that you're in their inbox consistently. They trust you. They love what you've been sending them. And boom, they can't wait to come out and buy or resubscribe to your CSA or order that quarter beef when they run out. So the other things you can email them, how-to videos. My customers love when I do a quick little video on how to cut up a whole chicken or how to make bone broth or how to make butter or cheese or anything. I have lots of flower farmers I work with, how to create a holiday bouquet, a holiday table arrangement. Even if you aren't selling flowers because it's the middle of winter, you don't have any flowers growing, you can still do a video tutorial on how to create a holiday arrangement with a bunch of flowers they got at the store. Okay, that is you serving your customers even when you don't have anything to sell. Then when it's time to sell, they feel a connection with you and they buy. Other things you can email them, pictures, inspirational stories, educational articles, answers to their questions. You could do a frequently asked question email where you just jump in your email, you send it out to your whole list and it says, here's the top 5 questions I get asked all the time. I want to make sure I know you probably have the same question. So these are all ideas of things you can email all winter long. And then you just start over, start at the top of that list. When you work your way through the list, create more recipes. Okay. So the other thing is when you email and you link to the recipes on your website, you're building your SEO or your search engine optimization all winter long. Otherwise, if you're only emailing when you have product to sell, you are falling lower and lower in a Google search because you aren't directing people to your website. That's what your email marketing is for. So make sure you're doing it in the off season. Sorry. So send them in your email what they want to hear about. And when you have things to sell, you will sell out. This is what devoted subscribers who trust you will do for your farm. Okay. So then where do you find these dream customers? Well, community clubs. Now we're in a time of COVID, but there are still all the same groups that I used to go talk to in person are meeting online, doing just what we're doing here today. Our Rotary Club, I get so many new customers from the Rotary and the Kiwanis Club in our local town. They're still having their meetings and they love to have a speaker come in about once a month for 15 minutes about some topic unrelated to their business. So for entertainment. So I used to go to the local pizza parlor and talk about what it's like to get up at 5 a.m. and milk a cow. And then they would all come out and become customers. It was pretty amazing. You can still do that online. Friends, family, have your when you send out emails to your email list, make sure you're asking them to share these emails and forward them so that other people will get on your email list. Whoops. Farmers markets. I have a lot of people doing pop-up markets now because of COVID. The big markets have changed. Some of them are still going. Make sure all of those people are getting on your email list. As a matter of fact, getting someone on your email list is more valuable than the sale at hand. If you can make $50 on a sale or get them on your email list, it's going to be more valuable to get them on your email list because of the loyalty and the lifetime of sales you'll have. So that's a mindset you want to have with your email list. Of course, all kinds of online groups. Okay, so coming down to the end, I just want to wrap it up. Your profitable farm marketing plan. Step one, you got to know who you're targeting your marketing to. Got to know your dream customer, who she is. It's probably a woman. Women influence where 80% of the dollars in this country go. Even if the man is making the money and the woman is home with the kids, she's still influencing where 80% of the money is spent. So chances are your dream customer is a woman. Even if the man is placing the order or coming to the farm store, what I notice is he always has a list from his wife of what to buy. So I don't know if you've noticed that, but it was sure we have single men who buy from us. But keep that in the back of your mind that women are influencing where 80% of the dollars go. So chances are your dream customer is a woman. Grow your list with devoted subscribers by offering them that freebie when they land on your website on the internet. And then you got to be emailing them consistently every 2 weeks minimum year round in order to build that trust and relationship. Okay, you guys, that's it. So you can use the Q&A. Cindy's going to some questions. So if you want to get started with my free email marketing training, my free email marketing class, you can go to 3cowmarketing.com/free-email and sign up. It's a 5 or 6 day class. That class is free. It's going to blow your mind. The information in there, if you follow it and you do it step by step, will transform your marketing immediately. So that is a free email marketing course. Then if you want another email sent to you with some other goodies in it, like I have an Instagram marketing guide, a pricing for profit course, you can text the word 3Cow Marketing, all one word, to that number, 44222. So those are 2 ways there that you can get on my email list. And then, yeah, that is what I'm offering there, my freebie. If you're willing to trade your email to get the free email marketing course or the other goodies, you'll be on my email list. So that's what I do. All transparency here. I offer things that you will be interested in, and then you'll get on my email list and get the podcast once a week too. So I also have, like I said, the Profitable Mindset podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts. Okay. Do we have questions?
All right, you guys, don't be shy.
Okay. Yeah. And I do recognize some names. It's always fun to have people I know here. I won't call them out, but I do recognize them.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that was great.
Thank you.
I mean, it's so practical. I mean, I listen to your podcast. I wait for your Friday podcasts, and I just can hardly wait until they come out. So that anticipation of the marketing information is really important. I mean, I really wait.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because what you just said you do is what your customers will do for your farm emails when they're focused on what they want to hear about. So, yeah, okay. I love it.
All right, we've got a question here. From Sandra, how do you get the email marketing software?
Just go to, it's online. You don't have to do anything. Go to, say, MailChimp.com. You just sign up right there. Same way you got on this Zoom call. And any of them work. There's a lot of them. Okay.
Yeah, MailChimp is it's free. There's a bunch of them out there that are free, and they're super. I mean, once you try it once, it's pretty simple to pre-record your just to get everything lined up, just in case you get busy. Do it a couple times in advance.
Yep, I have a lot of farmers who've learned how to take time off marketing in the winter, but still stay in connection by pre-scheduling all their November, December emails so they can take time off. Okay, so I see a question. It says, you talk about how to write to address your dream customer. How do you transition your mind to relations frame of writing versus sales thinking? Okay, I did this when I was presenting to you, when I was talking about the dream customer. So you're talking in your email, you might say, hey, dear Julie. So, you have their first name automatically put in there. Your email marketing software does that. I know you're busy. I know you're running kids around to sports practices, trying to get dinner on the table. You feel guilty sometimes. I can help. Our pork roasts are on sale this week. Pre-order yours here and feel confident feeding your family a healthy meal. That's it. That is the transition from talking to your dream customer to sales thinking. However, it's not spammy sales, it's serving her. It's amazing when you do this. That's a CR. I don't know who that is, but CR asked that question. When you talk to her and you offer your product, which is a skill, this is what my marketing students, they learn this skill of what I just read off to you as an example of, when you identify your dream customer, and then you figure out how your products will help her. It's very easy to make that shift, but it is a learned skill and a practice skill. All right, so Leland, procrastinate building my website, thinking I need to have a way for customers to pay. Could that be on the website later? Absolutely. Don't let anything stand in the way of you getting a very simple website up, and just start getting email addresses. Email addresses are way more important and valuable than money. So don't worry about the PayPal, get the website up, and then your brain can only handle so many to-do things anyway. So just focus on the website and put the PayPal link and figuring that out on the to-do list for next month, and do that. So yeah, get your website up. Don't procrastinate anymore, because It's so important and so valuable.
Charlotte, do you have a website platform that you could recommend that's simple?
Well, I teach our marketing students how to build one in Squarespace. And here's why I do that. It is simple. We have free tech videos on how to do that on our website, 3Cow Marketing, under the Start Here tab. We teach you how to build a website on Squarespace. There's a lot of different platforms, but the reason I like Squarespace is you can have zero tech training at all, and you can get a beautiful website put up in less than one weekend. So it's the simplest way. Now, there are more robust platforms like WordPress, but most people cannot get a pretty website up on WordPress on their own unless they're a skilled, they've got some skill in some coding. So if you have a lot of coding skill, even the people who have coding skill that come in my class, they aren't able to make it pretty. Squarespace, that's all automated. So just use that. It's also got search engine optimization built into it, so you don't have to worry about that. So yeah, that's where I would suggest you start. And since you asked that, don't use a free version of a website because you get penalized in Google searches. If you're using a free option, Google does not show you in Google searches. So it defeats the purpose. So a lot of people think, oh, I can just do the free version of the website. That will it'll hold you back in marketing. So you want to, having a website platform is one of the costs of doing business. So just figure that in. Don't do the freebies.
Oh, that's good advice. Does anybody have any other questions for Charlotte?
I can stop sharing here.
And by the way, we will be in the raffle tomorrow at 11:45. We will be raffling off one of Charlotte's courses.
Yeah, the marketing course, right?
Yep.
Farm Marketing from the Heart. It's amazing. Yeah.
So for those of you that can tune in at 11:45 and your name gets drawn, you'll be a lucky person.
Yes.
Gets to carry on this with Charlotte. And I really encourage everybody to listen to those podcasts. They're really great. It's just a perfect link too.
Thank you. I try to keep them like 20, 30 minutes. And so I appreciate that feedback. You're going to love next week's. It's about how to get along with everybody during the holidays. I'm going a little bit off of marketing to help us through the holidays.
That's great. So please, everybody, take a few minutes or a few seconds and answer the poll so we can use that for future events. And Charlotte, thank you so much again. And yeah, you're very inspirational.
You're so welcome. I hope to see all of you over on the podcast, on the website, in person someday. But yeah, thank you for having me here. I really appreciate it. And you're welcome, Kathleen and Heidi. Thank you for the great comments. All right. Thanks, Cindy.
Oh, thank you. All right. So then we're going to take a short break and then we're going to move into our evening breakout sessions. We have Dr. Raymond Floyd, who is an entomologist at K-State, who's going to be talking about pest management, which is going to be, it's a pretty important topic for you vegetable folks. We have Stefan Marisky from Seed Savers Exchange, who will be sharing about the program that they have with conservation of heirloom seeds and plants and how we can support that effort. And then Tessa Peters from the Land Institute is going to be talking about perennial grains. And that's something, to me as a grass-fed beef producer, soils are pretty important. And I'm really excited to hear all about Kernza and all the other perennial grains that the Land Institute is working on. So we'll have those breakouts after a short break. And then we're going to roll into our evening chef event with Kim Tilson Braveheart from Etiquette Catering in Rapid City. And it sounds like the menu tonight is going to be buffalo meatballs and other traditional foods. So it'll complement last night's chef event. And by the way, that meal was delicious. So Anyway, thanks everybody for participating, and on we go to a short break, and then you'll have to log out of this Zoom session, and everybody should have been sent individual links for this evening's breakout.